the team here at the Information Lab and the Data School are looking at completing Workout Wednesday 2021 Week 26 Profitability with a Dual Axis Chart. In this example by Luke Stenke, we have a Pareto chart that shows us a cumulative profit. That is the line that goes up to 100% and back down. Looks like the line is color-coded by whether or not each order is profitable. And across the bottom, we've got the percent of total orders. And we also have a bar chart for each order representing the size of the order by sales. Okay, so I'm going to start by bringing order ID into the columns, profit into the rows, and I'm going to also put order ID in the detail shelf, and then sort order ID by the field descending profit, fit entire view. All right. Now my profit, to make that a Pareto, I'm going to add a quick table calculation, which is my running total. And I'm going to compute that using order ID. And then edit the table calculation. Add a secondary calculation, which is going to be a percent of total, also by order ID. And I want to make that a line. Okay, and then I'm going to create another calculated field, and I'm going to call it profitable order. And I'm just going to say the sum of profit is bigger than 0, and add that to color. And now we see our two colors, which is nice. So let's go ahead and make the true is blue and the false is red. I'm pretty sure that's how it is in the original. It uses a brighter blue. Let's change the color palette for the blue. I don't know what blue he used here. It's usually, they like jewel bright. What color is that? Does it give us the color codes? Okay. Non-profitable orders in red. Okay, I'll just, let's see what other color palette we have. Blue, red. That's fine, I'll just leave it like that. It's good enough. And I'm just going to shrink that down to make it smaller. Now, to get this axis to be so this looks like it is the percent of total orders. So I'm going to make changes to a measure count distinct, and then add a table calculation, which is going to be, oh, let me do it this way, it's a bit easier. Let's add a, clear the table calc, let's add a quick table calc running total, and tell it to compute using order ID. And then we need to add a secondary calculation for that one as well, as a percent of total. There we go. Okay. Oh, actually on this axis on the left-hand side is supposed to just be cumulative profit. So I need to edit this table calc and get rid of the secondary calculation. Okay, so our running sum of profit needs to be in, okay, so let's save this calculation. Let's call this one cumulative profit. And let's set the default number format for that to be in the thousands with a $sign. Okay, that looks good. And then we have our percent of total orders. So let's drag this one down. Oops, that's not correct. All right. Okay, so we can't save that because it's a two-part table calculation, or it has a secondary calculation. So I'm going to edit the axis and total orders percent of total. Total orders percent of total. Okay, and then it looks like it goes every 20%, so tick marks, fixed, 0.2. Total orders percent of total, so that looks good. Maybe this line needs to be a bit wider. Let's just take it to the first tick. And then we need to, on the secondary axis, it's having order size by sales. Okay, so let's put sales as a secondary axis. We're not going to synchronize this one. And let's edit the, let's change the default number format to be custom number with a $sign. And then this axis looks like it goes every 5,000. Okay, and the axis on the left goes every 100,000. Okay. And on my all marks card, I want to now get rid of measure names. Okay, so this axis, instead of being a line, it needs to be a bar. Let's take the as profitable off, set them to as small as possible. Get rid of the borders. And let's set it to a light gray. Okay, medium gray. Actually, I think that's the one that we were supposed to do. And let's move those to the back. And we call this order size sales. So edit axis, order size sales. Okay, so that gives us each order, and then so that has the order number, the sales, and the profit. So I'm going to go to sales and profit. Let's put those onto the tooltip. Okay, we can get rid of this in the tooltip, get rid of that in the tooltip. So now here we've got the profit also needs to be number custom with a $sign. So we've got order, profit and sales, order, profit and sales. Okay, good. And the color field, I can also take that out of the tooltip, and I'm going to hide that card. So on the sales bars, my tooltip is just going to have the order ID, and then what does it say? Sales and profit. Okay, so that looks good. And then this has order ID, sales, and profit. Oh, probably could have done it on both of them then. I'm just going to do it on the all marks card. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's add a title in here. Let's see, profitability week 26. Profitability with dual axis chart. Charts. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and also show the caption. Let's see. Challenge by Stinky. Solution by. Okay. So that's good there. Okay, so the size shelf, that's fine. I'm going to do 1. Okay, yeah, we don't want to do that. So center. Yeah, I want that to be manual. Okay, we've got a bit of formatting to do here. We need to get rid of our row and column dividers. And what else? We have our reference lines. Okay. So I think that's good. And then we need to put in the of your orders, 79% were profitable. Okay. I think I can delete this one. Let's create a new one. This is percent of profitable orders. So for this, I'm going to say something like, I know my denominator is going to be the count distinctive order ID as a level of detail expression. So that's going to be my total number of orders. And then I want to say fixed on order ID, sum if order, let's see, if profit is greater than 0 and then 1, else 0. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm just looking at each order and saying if it's profitable, then return a 1, otherwise return a 0. And then I want to wrap this in a sum. Okay. And default properties, number format, let's make it a percentage to 0 decimals. I'm going to stick that on the all marks card. Okay, and then in my header here, let's make it 12 point of your orders. More profitable. The remaining orders. Decreased potential profitability by, okay, now you need to come up with that 33%, so 0 were profitable. Okay, so something is not quite right here. So for each order, I want to get the sum of, let me try it this way, sum of profit. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, I thought I had that right last time, so let me undo. Let me see here. I'm just going to put this in another sheet. 106. Okay, so something's not right there then. So let's see. So I know the denominator is correct. That's going to be my percent of total orders. But I want to say for each order ID, give me the profit. And then if so fixed order ID, there's probably an easier way to do this, but so for each order, sum, if that is bigger than 0, then 1, else 0, and then another bracket. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is for each order ID, okay, so first I'm determining the profit for each order, and then I'm saying if that's bigger than 0, return 1, otherwise return a 0. And then I'm going to add up all of the ones. So let's hit apply, and let's bring that here. So that should be 397 orders. Okay, and then I want to divide that by the count, the total count of order ID. 79%. Okay, there we go. So that's good. Okay, so let's put that here. And then I just need to swap it out. What the heck? Huh. Of your orders, 0% were profitable. Okay, maybe I need to let's try that. There we go. Okay, so I just needed to return a single number. That's why I wrapped that last. This is way more complicated than it needs to be, I think. So I think I could, I'm going to try to simplify this. So I'm going to try, let's say, if profit I see, that's coming back with 161 because some of the orders have more than one item, so it's counting them twice. Okay, so let me explain this again. So we have, first we're looking at the profit for each order, and then for each order, we want to say, is that profit bigger than 0? If it is, return a 1, because we want to just flag that order, and then we want to add all of those up. In the denominator, we're just looking at how many orders there are, and then we're just dividing one by the other. Okay, so I think that's, oh, and then we need to get the remaining orders decreased profitability by 33%. Okay, so the remaining orders, okay, I'm just going to copy parts of this. Remaining orders unprofitable. Value. So it says decreased potential profitability by 33%. Okay, so okay. So I think what's happening here is if we turn each of these into a 0, so I'm going to try this. I think what we need to do is we want to say for each order ID, get the sum of profit. Let's see. We'll get the sum of profit. Okay, and then I want to say for each order ID, I want to say if the sum of profit is less than 0, then 0, else profit end. And then brackets, and then sum. So what I'm doing is I'm taking each of the unprofitable ones and I'm changing it to a 0. So I'm going to just build this out as a table. So let's take each order ID and profit, and I'm going to just sort them ascending. And then this unprofitable orders, so that changes all of those to 0. And then the rest of them are the value of the order. Okay, so that's working the way I would expect. And then Okay, so then if I take order ID off the view, I get that value. That gives me my total profit. So what if I then, so if I do 286,397, wait, do 426,331 minus 286,397 divided by 286,397. So that's going to give me 50%. Okay, so that's not quite right. So the value of those unprofitable orders. So if it's less than 0, then 0. Okay. Unprofitable orders value. Okay, so what does this say here? So the remaining orders decreased potential profitability by 33%. Potential profitability. Okay. So I think I want to get the total value. Okay, let's try this. Absolute profit. Let's see what that gives me. 157. And then I want to divide that by 286,397. Okay. So I don't want to do that. Right. So I think what I'm struggling with here is the question. So what does this look like now? Profitable orders value. No. No, this would be the profitable orders value. And then I'm just going to, for the heck of it, multiply it by 0.33. And we get 140. Oh, okay. Yep. So that's right. So so I take this value and I want to subtract the sum of profit. Wrap that whole thing in brackets and then divide by the sum of, I don't think I quite have the order of this right. Okay, so that's not right. Because if I multiply, so if I had the profitable orders times 0.67 equals the sum of profit, then what I want to do is I want to take the profitable orders and divide by No, the sum of profit divided by profitable orders. Okay, I think I have this backwards. This gotta get rid of that. And then 1 minus. Okay, there we go. Right. Okay, so what this is doing now is it's saying, this part here is saying for each order, determine its profitability. If it's less than 0, just make it, set it to 0, otherwise return profit. So we're changing all of the unprofitable orders into 0, and then add all of those up. And then, so we probably could have just done this. Let's see if that works. So I'm missing a bracket here. Yeah. Okay, so I just want to add up the profit after I determine if it's profitable or not. Yeah, and then I want to take that value, I want to take the profit, divide it by the total potential profit, and then do 1 minus that. Okay, so that works. So let's put that field now on the detail shelf. And then I want to just insert that period, hit apply, and we're getting the wrong number again. Okay, I think I need this to just return as one number. I have an error message here. Oh. Oh, wrong field. Oh, gosh, I did it again. Insert profitable orders value. There we go. Okay, excellent. All right, so all done. That's a bit of a tricky calculation. So then we need to throw it in the dashboard. And I think it's at 600 by 500. And layout, let's just go ahead and float it in here. 0, 0, 600, 500. And let's put maybe 10 pixels of inner padding. And I need to show the caption. And then he has this left aligned. Okay. Yeah, and I think that takes care of it then. My bars are slightly fatter than his, but I think it still does the job because none of them are overlapping. Now, for me, I think this chart is a bit too small, but I guess it meets the challenge. So let's call this 26. Yep. And yeah, that's all there is to it. So, I mean, that's not all there is to it. It wasn't that simple. But hopefully you found that useful and were able to follow along. And for the Wise Up Wednesday team, I'll see you next week. Bye.